Hey,
Hey,
hi,
Michelle.
Sharon.
Hey, Sandy's welcoming everyone. Hey, everyone. Okay, so we are live on the Facebook page. I'm going to double check that because I don't want to be in trouble if we're not. And I am recording. Let's see. Yes, we're live. Okay, hey guys, happy Monday. And I am your host for today. And I'm super excited because at first I was like, oh my goodness, what's going to be my topic? What do I want to share with all of you guys? And I'm only going to share a little bit, but I want to open this up to all of you to any like questions or anything pertaining to your business or even like mindset, any of that stuff. And if I can't answer, we have an amazing group of people on our team that I'm sure can answer your questions. But I'll share my story real quick. For those of you who don't know, I have been a part of the Juice Plus company now for 9.5 years. Next year in May, it will be 10 years. Crazy. Time flies when you're having a lot of fun. But when I started, I was in, a really hard place financially. We were like still reeling from the recession that happened in 2008. And I was looking for a way to not have to go back into corporate but yet to make some income while being at home with the kids. And I met Sharon. Me and Sharon met outside of our gym. We were outside of LA Fitness. We happened to park right next to each other. And I called out to her. So I guess instantly her antennas were on because I called out to her. She had our college's tag on her car. And I was like, oh, she's a Seminole. So that was like our instant connection. We started talking. Our kids, who must have been playing in the play area inside the gym earlier, which we didn't know, they gravitated to each other. Like her daughter got out of her car and was in my car. And my kids, they were all playing together. They've been friends ever since, guys. It's been 9.5 years and they're like besties. And that just started this journey I've been on for 9.5 years. She said to me in a parking lot something that stood out to me. We were talking and she was mentioning her degrees. And I was like, wow, you have like multiple degrees, masters. Are you kidding me? I have my one degree in IT and we were just going back and forth. And then she said to me, well, I like to help stay-at-home moms make some extra income. And she didn't know at the time that I was looking for a way to make some extra income. I had been looking at all various types of ways. I was actually studying to become a personal trainer because I was like, oh, that's something I can do and make some income and still be able to create my own schedule. And when she told me that, I was like, oh, I'm interested. But at the same time, I was like, well, she's a total stranger. Like, why would I really listen to her? But there was just a connection and a trust I had in my gut about Sharon. So we had a play date a few days later and she shared Juice Plus. Well, no, she shared a video, which I didn't watch immediately, which I should have been on top of, but that's why I'm so forgiving to other people when I share a video and they don't watch it, because I was super interested, like very interested. And I went home and my kids like just totally distracted me. And it took me 2 or 3 days and her calling me, did you watch that video, for me to say, oh my gosh, yes, I have to watch the video. Super, I loved the information. I was like, wow, this is amazing. I've always been into fitness and health, and I was missing that link with nutrition. So it just started to connect all these things in my head, like, oh my gosh, this is what could probably help my dad, who's a diabetic. This could help my son, who doesn't like to eat vegetables. If you're not muted, let me see, mute. I'm hearing an echo.
Oh, Michelle.
Hey, Nalani. I'm just sharing my story real quick. So that is what put me on this path. And I honestly started because I knew it was so good. I wanted to get started on it, but at the same time, because we were in like serious like financial distress, I knew my husband was going to be like, wait a minute, we're not bringing in another bill into this house. So I was like, okay, I'm going to figure out how to pay for it. So that is why I signed up, became a rep. But then, being under Sharon as my direct sponsor, she like always painted a bigger picture. And at first it was just the picture of, okay, getting to maybe VF, which I got to in 29, well, QSC, I got to in 29 days. And then I got to sales coordinator in 6 months. And she just always like continued like the next steps on, hey, you know, if you do this, then you could be here and earning this amount. So she just saw that I was driven, and I had a lot of connections. And I don't say connections, I just have a lot of friends over the years. Like, I'm someone who likes to build relationships, and that I feel has helped me significantly build this business. I'm a relationship builder. I'm not just someone that you'll see here today and go tomorrow. Like, I love people and I love getting to know them. So that has helped me throughout the years. But that is my story in a nutshell, which was longer than I wanted it to be. But for all of you guys that are just joining, I am the host for today, Michelle Fletcher. I've been with the business for 9.5 years. And at first I was like, okay, I'm going to have all these things I want to share. But then I was like, wait a minute, it's not all about me. It's about you guys. And some of you are new on your journey with the Juice Plus company, and some of you are veterans that are in here. And really quick, I want to say congratulations to Jennifer Crispin Martinson, because oh my gosh, her and her mom are just an amazing duo. And just seeing them and hearing them contribute on these lunch and learns, I feel like I've gotten to know them, even though I don't think we've talked directly one-on-one. But I want to say congratulations on your recent promotion, because it is a big deal. Every promotion is a big deal, and you're changing so many lives. So congrats to you guys. But I'm leaving this forum pretty open to you. So if you have any questions, anything like going on in your business, it just got really dark in my room, going on in your business that you would love to know, or if you want to pick my brain, I am a QNMD, a recent QNMD in September. So, and I have 9.5 years doing this business and making a lot of mistakes. But with mistakes comes learning, and I find every mistake a learning. It has helped me learn so much. It's hard to be perfect. You can't be perfect in this business. A lot of times I do something, and if it doesn't work, then I do something else and then do something else. So let me know if there's any questions out there. I see the chat is going. You can unmute if you want. Am I streaming? Okay, Sharon was putting me in check while in the beginning, but now she's gone. She's asking me if I set everything up. Okay. Cleaning house, but love it. You're great. Okay. All right. So I don't see any questions yet. So at any time, interject, because I have a plan B if there's no questions right now, but I want to get your brains going, because there's a lot that has gone into the person I am today. I was not this Michelle 9.5 years ago. There's been a lot of personal growth that's happened. And, you know, one of the things that happened 6 months into my journey, you know, I was really focused on just sharing. I was so excited about sharing Juice Plus, because I felt like, oh my gosh, this could help so many people. I had spent years helping friends work out at the gym and learn how to use the machines, and helped friends lose weight. And guess what? When I stopped going, they stopped going. And I was just like, that's crazy. Like, I helped you on a health journey. Well, I was like, wow, Juice Plus is something that I can help them use, and I don't have to be at their house or meet them at the gym for them to do it. They can do it every day. It's so easy, and it's so simple, and it's such a simple solution. So I was just like telling the whole world about it. But what happened when I got to sales coordinator is Sharon bought me a book to congratulate me. And that book, I feel like, changed my entire perspective on what I was doing. It was called The Business of the 21st Century by Robert Kiyosaki. And if you guys are new on to this business and you haven't checked that book out, you want to check that book out. It tells you how this industry, network marketing, my whole life, I grew up with a really bad, what do you call it? A really bad perspective of network marketing. My brother did Amway when I was younger, and I just remember our house being full of stuff. And then I just remember, like, less than a year later, he wasn't doing it, and there was all this stuff. And I was like, that didn't sit well with me. And it wasn't until I read that book, even though I had been doing Juice Plus and felt like it didn't feel like network marketing. To me, it didn't. I just felt like I was sharing something that was really helpful for people. But that book really put into perspective how this business is unlike any other, and where anyone, if they put in the work, can really make a huge success of themselves doing this a business like this. And so you definitely want to read that book. It's fantastic. And it really puts a different light on the industry. And Robert Kiyosaki was never in network marketing. He's had several businesses of all types. He's been an entrepreneur, he's been a real estate, he's been in all these industries. And when he compared all the industries, the one that had the least amount of risk, the least amount of so many different things was network marketing. You put in so little to get so much. And so fantastic read. And I have here a bunch of books that I've read over the years. And it's so funny, when I looked at my bookshelf, I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I've read this many books, and I've read tons of audiobooks. So I'm going to quickly share a few favorites, if you guys don't mind. Because has anyone asked a question yet? I don't see anyone. I would love to start a book.
Question, Michelle.
Yes.
How do you so seamlessly post? How is it that when you're going through your day, you just post seamlessly? Like how do you think of that? And it just all looks so natural and so authentic, which is who you are. But on social media, it doesn't, it just comes across so gracefully.
Oh, wow. So I'll share with you guys, when I first started this business, I was not on social media at all. Sharon signed me up for Facebook. She was like, girl, you need to sign up for Facebook. And I was like, no, I have all the friends I need. So I knew nothing about posting. And my first year on social media, I go back because, the memories come up on days that you posted. And I look at some of those posts and I was like, straight garbage. It was so bad. It was terrible. I mean, I would write like a few words and no picture, no nothing. There was like, no one would like my post. It was terrible. So then there was someone that was doing a social media training, and she trained us on Facebook and like how to post, like how to engage your audience. And that changed how I started to post. I started posting more towards, like, every time I post, I think about what would I want to see someone else post, and we know some of the big things that people like that post that get a lot of attention are like birthdays and celebrations and anniversaries, but things in everyday life, what would I want to see, what would inspire me, so I'm always thinking when I'm doing life. And thank God I have always had this mentality. Before like smartphones and all of this stuff, I was the friend back in the day that always had a camera. My friends used to laugh at me. Like, we would go on girls' trips. They're like, Michelle's got the camera. Michelle knows what the weather is, like super organized. So I was always a picture taker. So thank God for that skill, because it's helped me a lot in this business, because I remember to click and take pictures, which sometimes I'm not always the best, but most times I do take pictures and I capture life. And I'm just real conscious of that, capturing what I'm doing that may inspire others. Like my daughter started going to the gym with me a week ago. So it's like, how cool is that? I know other people would love for their kids to, be motivated to go to the gym with them, or at 13, so things like that inspire people and make people realize there's more that they could possibly do. Maybe they should take their kids to the gym. So I'm always consciously thinking, what would other people like to see? And I work that into my day. Now, there are a few days where I don't post when life gets crazy. But for the most part, I try to stay as consistent as possible, at least one post a day, because that what has got me to this point. I feel people have seen me over the years consistently post, and I feel like they now know me. And even people I've never met in person feel very comfortable with me from what they've seen me post over all these years. So I hope that answers your question, Kristen. Yeah.
I couldn't agree with you more, Michelle. I'm one of those people that love to watch you post and see everything you're doing. And even before I even really knew you in quotations, I felt like I knew you. So I love it. You do a great job on social media.
Yeah. And I feel like all of you guys on here, the ones that are constant, like, I feel like we've all gotten to know each other through Facebook because we're all friends. And I've seen how like all of you have improved in your posting. Like this business really helped us to step up our game with that. So I see you guys too. You guys do amazing. And sometimes I steal your stuff, just so you know. I copy and paste. So feel free. I always tell people, feel free. If you see that I post something that you really love, feel free to use it. I am not hoarding information over here. Feel free to use it. And if you think it's going to work well with your audience, do it. Cool, Medina. Okay. Kristen. Is that the other Kristen? Oh, not you, Bossy. I think it's Kristen in Key West. What has been the most impactful part of your journey? Oh my gosh. The most impactful part of my journey between my customers, like some of the stories that my customers share is just incredible. Like I just remember when I was new and I invited one of my high school friends to come over and watch the presentation. I was brand new. And in my mind, I was thinking, he's not going to order, but hey, he can come and watch. And after it was over, he ordered everything for his family. And that was when he told me his 5-year-old was just diagnosed with diabetes and she was insulin dependent. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I had no idea. And to see what happened with his daughter within 2 weeks of starting on Juice Plus, I mean, I keep saying to myself, if she was my only customer, that alone would have just like made my day of what happened with her in 2 weeks. Like they had to lower her insulin at night because in the mornings her sugar levels were too low because now her body was starting to produce its own insulins. So that story is incredible. And just like stories like that keep me so inspired. But then I look at my team too. Like my team is amazing. And the changes that I've seen happen in my team between like their health changes, their confidence that's been built. Because I always see, like, I see them as all being amazing, but I don't see they see that in themselves sometimes. But over the years, you can see the confidence that's being built in them. And like, I'll give Bella as example. You guys, I think you all know Bella. She's the one who had a stroke and then had a heart attack. I mean, Bella is like half the size she was when before she started Juice Plus 5 years ago. She's like the transformation she has had over the 5 years, incredible. Like I keep seeing pictures of her post up from 5 years ago. I think she recently joined the business. It must be around this time of year because it keeps showing up. And I'm just like, I am so in awe of where she was. Like you could see, she seemed like she was hopeless when she first came to my house to an event. She sat on the couch and looked so hopeless. And I didn't even know then that she was just recovering from a heart attack and a stroke. And then to see her today, so confident, she's like making these amazing meals in the kitchen that are so healthy and inspiring others. She's an ambassador for the American Diabetes and American Heart Association. She speaks around the country. I mean, it is like, that's incredible to have that kind of impact on a life. And Bella is not direct to me. She's 4 levels beneath me on my team. But to have that effect where I shared with someone, she shared with someone, and then someone shared with someone and they impacted someone's life that significantly. I don't want to cry on this Zoom, but it's incredible. Oh, Kathy. Thank you, Kathy. Okay. You guys are so quiet. So in between the quiet, and you can unmute at any time to ask any questions, I'm going to share some books real quick.
You're doing so well, Michelle. We're just loving listening to you. So just keep on. Don't worry if we're quiet.
Thank you, Nalani. Oh my gosh, Nalani's another one who inspires me. Oh my goodness. Now, who doesn't want to be fabulous at like Nalani at her age? Like, I feel like she's so fabulous. I mean, she's there doing belly dancing classes. Her physique is amazing. I'm like, oh my goodness, she just is gorgeous. So I have goals to be like Nalani one day, and she's so wise. She's so wise. So I grabbed some books off my bookshelf, and one of my favorite writers and speakers is John Maxwell. Like, he has some amazing books. Oh my gosh, so good. He has so many. And even if you just listen, his voice is so like engaging because it's so deep, and he's just so wise. This man just has something on, he has a gift. So anything from John Maxwell, I recommend, because I haven't read anything that I didn't like from John Maxwell. Another book that really like blew my mind when I read it, I probably read this one like 4 years ago, Take the Stairs by Rory Baden. And the reason I love this, someone commenting?
Michelle, sorry, I'm on hold with the company, but I love that you're talking about the books, because one of the things that I want to do is I be held accountable to read some of these books that I've got, is to have like a book club. So I posted in the chat, if anybody wants to do in January, not this month, because I think we're all like crazy town in December anyway. But if anybody wants to do like a book club where we can be held accountable, maybe even just read like a chapter or two a week and then do a Zoom and talk about it, I would love to do that.
I would love that too, Karen. But I think it may be difficult because hold on, let me mute. Might be. Oh, okay. Alani, you weren't muted, but I muted you. It's all good. So I think like I've read so many books, unless I read the same book again, which is possible. But I feel like some people may be at different levels in their journey. And I would recommend certain books for like, if people were new, like for sure, and they wanted to really grasp what they have in their hands, I would definitely recommend they read Business of the 21st Century. That should be a first. And then, you know, Go Pro is up there as a book to read when you're brand new. But Take the Stairs. I just love that this mentality of everything takes work, right? Things don't come easy. And that's what Rory really like expounds on, is a lot of times you see someone at the top level and you're thinking, oh, it was easy for them. But no, you forget all the work they put into it and how many hours they put in to get to where they are. So I really loved this book. I feel like I want to read it again. I just saw it on my bookshelf and I was like, I love that book. Then I know at one point.
I was going to say, I second that book too. Take the Stairs is fantastic.
Yes. Did you read it recently, Jennifer?
Yeah, I actually just read it a few months ago on Audible. And it is so good how he talks about, because we want so many shortcuts in life. People want it in their health. They want it in their finances. And he really breaks it down. And he's like, there are really no shortcuts. There's so much that's mindset related, but you have to do the work. You have to put in the time and the effort. And sometimes it takes starting that wheel, and it takes a lot of effort to get it going. And like with our business, getting it going, that is the hardest part and very little payout. But then once we can get it going, it kind of creates this whole residual thing. So yeah, I love that book.
Yes. Thank you for that summary. See, you read it recently, so you remembered more of the details. So thank you. Thank you. I love that. It's such a great read, guys. And like, if you're doing this business, like, think about it. I've been doing this for 9.5 years. I could have quit a million times, but if it's worth it to you, and you see there's so many people that have been successful, like we have Sharon and Doug. They've been doing this for now 20 plus years. If that's not, what do they call it? What's the word I'm looking for?
Resilience?
Longevity. Longevity.
Inspiring.
You know how you have someone who's like an example of success? Like she is our, oh gosh, I can't think of the term for it. But to see that she did it when I started, I was like, what was that, Nicole?
Predecessor?
No. I'm sorry, guys.
That's all I got.
I love that everyone's trying to help me. Social proof. Sharon, I knew Sharon knew it. I saw it in her face that she knew which word I was thinking of, and I couldn't remember. Sharon is our social proof. And, you know, I guess I have the benefit of her being my upline, that she's always been my social proof, you know, that she's been doing it. She did it. I can do it too. So just know that we have a lot of social proof in this business, and especially on this team, we see people rising up all the time. Like I was congratulating Jennifer for her promotion. There were so many amazing promotions that happened this year. And for a lot of people, this year has been super tough. People have been laid off of jobs, furloughed, all kinds of things have happened. But we're here in this community, which I feel like we're almost like in a bubble where things have been progressing for us. You know, we've been moving forward, and we've been like helping so many people make changes in not only their health, but their finances if they've decided to say yes and join us. So that in itself is just incredible. Okay, so another book I'm going to mention real quick, and then I'm going to go to another question because I see Ariana asked me a question, is the 4-8 principle. And I wish Jules was on here because I know at one point she had renamed, I think she was calling her team 4-8 because she loved this book so much. Who is it by? Tommy Newberry. But I really like this book too. I can't remember the exact details. Oh, he based it on Philippians 4:8. But if you're looking for a good read, that's another one. And so I'm going to get to Ariana's question. Can you talk about rebranding yourself as an expert in this business since having a career in another area? Yes. So, well, I think for me, I kind of branded myself from the beginning as a health person and not an IT person because I wasn't on social media prior to doing Juice Plus and leaving the IT field. So it was always just about health. But I feel that if you're, whatever it is your profession is, because I know several of you on here have full-time jobs in other areas and other arenas, where doesn't health fit into whatever it is that you do? Like even like for me, if I was still in IT, and I know I used to sit at a desk, like the only time I got up was for lunch and to go to the bathroom. So I was sitting at a desk all day. I would want to like promote, oh my gosh, this is a simple way I'm getting healthier, even though I'm stuck at my desk, like from 9 to 5 most days. I know that I'm improving my health by getting in this concentrated nutrition. Like there's all kinds of ways you can fit in how health plays a role in whatever it is that you do. So I'm curious, Ariana, what is your career since having another career?
Hi, how are you?
I'm good.
So I just recently relocated to Florida and I'm from New York, and I had a very big executive career in event planning. So it's really like a total departure, right? Like, so, and people have heard me say this, like Sharon knows this, and Lonnie knows, like, that's where I'm stuck. Like, just like putting it out there that I'm doing something new because I've been regarded as an expert in my field for such a long time, right? Where people are calling me for advice, that like to all of a sudden start posting that I know anything about wellness and nutrition, even though I do have a great story and why I love Juice Plus and I've been using it myself for my kids for 8 years. Like it's for some reason, and everyone can tell me over and over again, like, don't worry about it. Like you just have a story, you should tell it. But I'm like kind of in that place, like, well, what do I have the right to tell people? Like coming from any sort of wellness space, a little bit easier to transition, right, into this space. This is a little bit more like, I guess, an ego thing. And I hate to say it like that, but like, kind of who am I, right? You know, that's how I'm feeling a little bit.
Oh, so I really like this question because when I started in this business, now I'll share with you all.
Mind if I address that?
Yes. Okay.
Do you mind if I address that?
Sure, Nalani.
Oh, okay. I was hoping I wasn't too noisy. Okay, so I'm glad you said that because you don't have to be, the issue is, and I guess you already know this, but the issue is that you were an expert. So you're accustomed to being an expert, and that you feel that you have to be an expert to do this business, to do anything that you do, but you don't. And the best thing is that you're learning, and you can share from the standpoint of, I'm learning. Look at what I'm learning. Wow, I've learned so much. I am an expert in the field of health and nutrition, and I still say we're learning so much about the connection between nutrition and disease. Wow. And you can come from that standpoint, not from being an expert. And in fact, people who are experts sometimes don't do as well in our business as people who are not, because we talk too much. You know, we talk a lot, and we want to explain the details, but we don't have to. If you're good at sharing your experience and sharing the resource, so the resource is the expert, you've got it. So I hope that helps.
Yeah,
It
I
does.
love
Thank you.
that. Was so good, Nalani, because I was going to share the same thing. Like, you don't want to be the expert in this. You want to just be a resource, and you want to share your journey, like, and things that you're learning along the way. That's in the beginning, that's what I was doing, because all three of my siblings are RNs. And when I said, oh, I have something that's for health, they were like, please, what do you know about health? You're too scared to even get an injection. So, you know, for them, health was medical, right? They didn't realize I was talking about like health from a more holistic perspective. So over the years, I have become an expert just from the things that I share that I've learned over the years. And so you don't want to seem like an expert. I still don't. Like when people ask me questions like, oh, what is that? What is Juice Plus? I don't really talk. I'm like, oh, watch this video. And I send them what is Juice Plus, because they can hear it from an expert. And then I share my story. I said, oh my gosh, me and my family have been using this for over 9 years, and it has totally transformed our health. And watch this video. So this time you're off the hook. Ariana, is she still on? Oh, you're off the hook. You don't have to be the expert. You're just like the resource to the experts. And then share your journey.
I'd like to add something.
Awesome.
into
Thank
that,
you.
too. Ariana, I want to add something to that, because I kind of get the sense that you had a similar mindset that I had, because I come from a technical field as well. And I was used to being the expert. You always had to have the answer. And so when we were told you don't want to be the expert in this business, I struggled with why. Like, okay, why do we not want to be the expert? And something I really had to learn this year, the reason you don't want to be the expert is because that's not duplicatable. To be really successful in this business, you need to be able to duplicate and duplicate and duplicate and bring more people onto your team. If you become the expert, well, then someone is immediately going to see that and be like, okay, that's not something I can do. Yeah, she's awesome. She's doing her thing. That's cool. I could never do that. But if you can always use the resources, every time you have a conversation with somebody, you're ultimately planting the seed that they could do this. When Michelle, who is an expert, says, here, let me give you this video, then when she's talking to them about the business, they're thinking back on all the times that Michelle has talked with them. She wasn't necessarily the expert. She just pointed them to the resources. So to me, I had to have that shift in mindset that not only should I not try to be the expert, it can be detrimental to try to be the expert, because you are then not viewed as duplicatable. So that was a mindset shift I had to have this year. So I want to throw that
Thank
out
you
there.
so much, everyone. I really appreciate the input.
That was so good, Jennifer. Yes, 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 yes. And, you know, I now have a team of people that I know there's people on my team that are so much better at a lot of things than I am. So, you know, that's the beauty of having a team, is that you get to learn from each other. And I get to learn a lot from my sidelines too. I've learned so much from my sidelines, my uplines, my downlines. I mean, it's incredible. So share, 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 and share more, says Bella. Oh, Bella's on here. I don't see her though. Okay. Any other questions? That was really good, Ariana. Thanks for asking that question. And I love your picture, by the way. So fabulous.
Oh, thank you. Totally departure from how I look right now cooking in my kitchen, but thank you.
You're like a TV journalist. Gorgeous. Okay. So any other questions? I'm going to share one more book. I want to share more, but this book blew my mind last year. High Performing Habits, Brendon Burchard. Oh my gosh. It makes you realize how you just really need to reorganize your life and focus on the things that are high priority. And he lays it out so well in this book. I need to read it again. I read it and I was like, I got to read it again. It's so good. So guys, I think we're going to be starting a book club, right, Karen? Because there's a lot of books to read. And actually,
So there is a lot of books, and I know I am terrible. So anybody can do this business if I can do this business, because I'm famous for making it through the first few chapters and then I peter out, like I never continue. So I'm much better at Audible. I make it through the Audible ones, but like not. But there is something about sitting down and reading a book and being able to highlight and being able to just go back and reread it than the Audible. But anyway. If you guys can I'm trying to go through the chat, but make sure that if I don't add you on the group, I'm going to just create a Facebook group because it's just easier to remember everybody that way. Excuse me, I was eating a carrot and I decided to talk. So if I don't put you in there, just reach out to me either on Voxer or Facebook or something.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Karen. And Karen is like, let me tell you, she's so on point. When she's given a task or she says she's doing something, it will be done in like the next 20 minutes. She'll be adding us to the group, all of that good stuff. Yes, she keeps us in check. Whenever I collaborate with Karen, she keeps me in check. So
but that's what it makes me accountable. When I'm not being held accountable is when I kind of drift off and I'm like, ooh, butterflies and squirrel. I mean, so that's, I do it selfishly for myself. I mean, I do it for you guys too, but selfishly for myself.
But no, I agree, Karen, because when I am collaborating, it does make me step it up a notch, for real. You won't procrastinate as much as you would if you were doing it solo. So thank you, Karen. Okay, so Karen's last name is Orlowski on Facebook. Orlowski. Good luck spelling that. Okay, let me see. So I did have some questions about, so something that I did to help with my personal growth also was I joined Toastmasters. And I joined Toastmasters about 3 years ago. I was a part of Toastmasters for 2 years. And man, that was such a great self-development course because I wanted to be able to articulate better, present myself better in front of audiences, and get over my fear of public speaking, which is so crazy. When I started this business, I was somehow forced to do my first presentation in front of a lot of people by myself with my cousin without sharing. Within the first month, I was like, what is going on? And let me tell you guys, I probably was soaked because when I'm nervous, I sweat. I don't sweat any other time. I can play a full game of soccer. I won't sweat. But if I'm nervous, I look like someone threw a bucket of water over me. So I was soaking wet, soaked from being nervous. Then my cousin, because we're Caribbean, her first group of people came a little late. Then another group of people came even later. I had to do the presentation twice. So, I'm so nervous. Over the years, I've always been kind of nervous presenting. I get really worked up, like, oh my gosh, I got to present. I worked myself up for the entire day. So I was like, I want to get rid of that. I want to be able to just flow without saying a lot of those words that just fills in gaps in conversation, like, so, like. So Toastmasters totally changed the way that I speak and present. And it's such a non-confrontational way to get out there and do speeches and practice, and you get really good feedback right away after you do a speech. They lift you up when they see you trying, and it was just fantastic. I recommend Toastmasters for anybody. I would really love to go back. They've been online, but Toastmasters is usually during the time that we're doing this lunch and learn. But it's a great course if you're looking for a way to help with your public speaking or to just, overcome that fear of public speaking. It's a great resource for that. And it's not that expensive. It's like $60 for like 6 months, I think. Is that the cost? Arlene was the treasurer. Me and Arlene were in it together. I think it's $60 or $80 for 6 months or a year. So it's pretty cost effective. You can find Toastmasters anywhere in your area. You just go on toastmasters.org and find a location near you. And you can check them out first before you actually sign up. So I feel like for all of us that are constantly speaking to people, if you want to be a little bit better, Toastmasters may be the thing for you.
Michelle, did you find you were able to like connect and network with people also while you were there, or was it strictly just working on your speech?
You do, it's kind of like you do bond with the people that are there. Unfortunately, the people that were in our group were a lot, were like some older, stubborn men that were not very open. And then people came in and out. Sometimes there were new people, you try to connect with them, but then they ended up not coming back to sessions. So you weren't able to fully like make connections. So I wasn't able to network as much. Actually, I did get a customer out of that. And I think Arlene got a couple of customers out of it too. So it is another way to open your network for sure. You will meet, especially the one that we went to was filled with like people that were in corporate or doctors and that type of thing. So depending on which location you go to, you may find that you're able to network well with people. Any other questions on Toastmasters? There's all kinds of ways to network. I know there's some people that are part of networking groups. I'm not a part of a networking group, but there are networking groups out there. It's probably easier now to join networking group events because they're probably online. So you could just connect whenever they have meeting times. I know I get emails now with everyone's been transitioning to online networking. So that's always something that you can use to open up your network if you're feeling like, hey, I've drained, the people that I've been talking to. You want to reach out and meet new people. Networking groups, finding groups of interest on Facebook, things that hobbies of yours or places where you're from, you'll be amazed. There's a group for just about everything. So I'm from England, guys. I don't know if you all know this, but I'm from England. I'm from this small town in England. Well, yesterday, this lady friends me and is like, oh, I have a group for our small town in England that all those people that moved here to the US, I'm just like creating a group with them and you were recommended. And I'm thinking, are you kidding me? So there's a group for just about everything. My small town of Ipswich now has a group for people that are living in the US. And so I'll get to meet those people and network with those people in that group. So just constantly finding ways to branch out. I see John Doe is with us. Welcome, John Doe. Dougie. I don't know why he has an alias.
Well, I can't miss on the action. I love everybody, but I didn't want to be too obvious.
Oh, you are funny.
Oh my gosh, I just texted or chatted with him. I'm like, okay, it says John Doe, but it has our picture. I'm like, come on.
You got to do a bit better than that and hide in Dougie. Okay, Bella's part of Toastmasters now. Actually, Bella started going to the Toastmasters that I left it like right before she started going. So she's been having a lot of success going to that Toastmasters too. And like I said, Bella is now like speaking around the country. She's an ambassador for the Heart Association and Diabetes Association. So I'm up for the book club. Okay. Any other questions, guys? Doug is now the Hamburglar.
I just wanted to make a statement about Tower Gardens. I have never tried to talk much about Tower Gardens or anything like that because I didn't have one. And Jennifer got one first. So I thought, well, I'll just kind of watch. And if it works for her, then I'll try it. And I was saving up for one. But I have one now. And I'm posting a lot about Tower Gardens. And you won't be posting about anything if you don't experience it yourself. And what's really cool is you can post about, take pictures. Look, my squash is growing and there's snow outside and stuff like that. And it gets people's attention. And so when people respond to it, then I send them a message. Hey, if you want to come by and see it sometime, or you want to see a brochure, or would you like to see how it works? Because it's just amazing how it works. And so that's been really cool. I really didn't realize how amazing. I should have known if it has anything to do with Juice Plus, it would be fantastic. But until you have one, so if you're a rep and you don't have a Juice Plus Tower Garden, I highly, especially in the winter now, if it's inside, people are going, what do you mean you're having fresh fresh lettuce and gourmet blends and stuff like that? And it's just really cool, but it's a great addition to your business.
Mm-hmm. I love that, Kathy. You are so right, because before, I remember when the Tower Garden came out, I was fairly new in the business and I was so intimidated. I was like, what? How am I going to do that? I kill everything. But man, when you have a tower, because you're excited and you post about it, I feel like people feel that excitement from your post, and it is a great conversation starter. And it helps for those people that can't wrap their mind around Juice Plus, but they can wrap their mind around food and growing their own food. I mean, you just attract another group of people, potential customers or team members, just by having the tower. And we have some amazing Tower Garden growers on here. I'm not the best grower, but I've grown a lot of things over the years. I'm like laughing at my tower right now because I was growing a bunch of different lettuces and basil and all these things. And I looked at it and I was like, it had dried out. And I was like, everything was dead. So in order for the pump not to die and burn out, I just filled it with water, but I knew I was going to pull everything out and clean it. Well, 5 days went by. And when I looked outside, everything that was dead was back to life. And I mean, guys, things were dead for like a day. My basil's back to life. The Swiss chard that was like a baby Swiss chard is growing. I didn't even put nutrients in there yet. And I was like, I was going to clean that out and like throw that stuff out. Everything came back. And I'm like, I'm such a neglectful tower gardener. It's so bad. And Arlene came over and was like, oh, I'm looking at your tower. And I was like, don't look at it. It's terrible. I'm just laughing to myself that it was dead for a day. And I really thought it was done. And 5 days later, everything is like back to normal. Like I didn't kill it 5 days ago. So it's very hard to go wrong with the tower. I do very bad with mine, but it still produces for me and treats me pretty well. So towers are great. And now is a great time to promote the towers because people are looking for different gifts to share, right, with their families. And the tower is an amazing gift. Who wouldn't want to get a tower for Christmas? I'm considering getting the lights and bringing mine inside just to make life a little easier. But the tower is awesome. So promote the towers. There's some cool graphics out there that have like they've holidayed up the tower, which are pretty cool and draws interest. And then for those of you that are doing like any of the challenges, Doug, you're killing me.
Sorry, I didn't even remember I had that on.
Any of the challenges that are going on, like I know right now we're doing a 12-day detox with the cranberry cocktail. And then right after, my team has decided to go right into a 10-day smoothie challenge where in order to be part of the challenge, you really would want to get the complete shake because that's going to be an ingredient, a vital ingredient in every recipe. So what I am finding, I think I figured this out this year, is that, campaigns really help my team to like build business. So like the campaign of the detox, it attracted so many people. Now we're promoting this 10-day smoothie challenge that is attracting another set of people or some of the same people, but now they're getting started on the shake alongside with everything else. So it's just like continuing to open the doors and expose people to different things that we offer. And then being that resource and lighthouse for them.
I have a question, Michelle. When it comes to marketing the Tower Garden, I mean, you can get people's attention, right, with things like this. But has anybody like for the holidays like bedazzled their Tower Gardens? Because I've been looking. No, I was wondering what would it look like if there was like LED lighting inside and it was coming out the holes or something. I don't know. Or does nobody does anything like wrapping lights around it? Do we? No.
I was just thinking that maybe we should do that because we always get home right before Christmas. We never put up a Christmas tree. And I was like, well, when I put my tower garden up, maybe I could put some garland or some, put those command strips on the outside of the lights and like hang little ornaments.
Yeah.
Make it like our Christmas tree. I think that would be cute.
I saw a picture of somebody had decorated theirs. I don't know, tower to table, maybe they had a picture
Yeah.
up. And
Maybe a
was
few lights, even if it's, I know Karen, I loved Karen's post about, giving this as a gift, the gift that keeps on growing. But, and she put like a fake bow, but what about one of those nice big bows like you get on a car? Like actually getting a bow on it, maybe having a few Christmas lights. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been looking out for some pictures like that because I think it would be really cute. I have seen people put like a little Santa hat on the top or like a little Christmas tree, but to have lights going around and decorating it, that would be really cool. Mine is outside, so I feel like the indoor one would do really good with decorating.
All right. Well, I'm going to do it. We got the hat I wore the other night, Sharon, and then we have those extra tree lights. I bought too many. Very excited.
Share your pictures.
I will.
I just posted one like because you guys were talking about it.
Oh, where'd you put it? Chat?
On the wall.
On my wall?
On my wall.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, don't mess with my wall.
I used quote. I said I was just on a Zoom where someone said my squash is growing and it's snowing outside. How cool is that? So then I talked about the tower garden. Who knows? We'll see.
I know. You've been inspired.
I was inspired, yeah.
So Nicole is not on here. Nicole, I asked Nicole, hey, what would you like for me to talk about on the Lunch and Learn? And she had like a bunch of things, but I think I covered a lot of them. Kristen asked one of them on me posting. I think the most important thing with posting is just staying consistent and thinking about what people would like to see. I'm always like, I don't want to just post things that are not interesting or boring, but just trying to engage with people where I know they will probably comment and engage in the post. I'm looking at the chat. Ask questions. Hey, Bella, you said ask questions. Is Bella on here? Oh yeah, she is. Her camera's off.
I know we kind of did it in that healthy starts at home, but whenever I come up with and do some sort of healthy hack and I post it, those always get they get so much response. Like when I did the, squeezing the lemons into the ice tray, like I had 100 comments. I was over squeezing lemons into an ice tray. It was like the dumbest thing. Same thing when I show, that I buy spinach and I shove it in a plastic bag instead of letting it sit there and go bad. And I put it straight into the freezer for smoothies. So people love that stuff. I just can't always come up with that. So I wonder if we could do some sort of just even like a Facebook or a Zoom event or something in the Healthy Starts with more like hacks like that as well. And then of course, Juice Plus and, whatever could be a part of that. But
that's a great question. That's a great, suggestion, Karen, because I remember back in the day, I used to do all those like healthy hacks and always got a lot, but I haven't reposted any of them because I felt like, oh, I posted that years ago, but I probably should repost some because there's people I have
don't
like
remember. Yeah, you have new people don't remember. And then I always think, well, the people that did see it are going to be like, oh, I saw that before, but then there's new people that see your stuff. So yeah.
You just gave me an idea too. So like if we were to post, like imagine all of us on here were to post like a healthy hack on our wall and then people were like commenting on it, then we could say, hey, I would love to invite you to an event we're having where we will share even more healthy hacks. That would be like a tie-in to the event.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe that should be a January type of event for health hacks. And we could do it as a team where we know we're posting this on our wall to get that engagement to guide them to the event.
Yep.
Sounds good. Okay, we have 3 minutes left, guys. My team has been so quiet. No, not Bella. Bella's been speaking up. Bella, I was talking about you earlier. Alicia, Joy. They probably like, we hear you enough, Michelle. We're good. Anyone else? Tiffany, I don't know you, but you must be fairly new to the team. Are you new?
Hi, I'm actually on another team, and Sharon and Doug were so gracious to let me, you know, be part of this Zoom and to gain knowledge. And so I'm grateful to see you all, and I'm just so grateful for this Juice Plus company, because all of you guys have really been my family, and I've been learning so much, and I've been in the business for about 2 years. I live in California. I'm prior to Juice Plus, well, I'm still a nurse, but I work at USC. And so, I mean, I guess I was considered that expert, but there's so much nutritional information that I'm learning through Juice Plus that I didn't learn in nursing school. I had 1 semester of nutrition in nursing school. So it's this business, this family has been a big blessing to me. So thank you for being so inspirational and sharing all this information. I wrote a ton of notes.
Oh, awesome. And we have like the best leaders. They're so inclusive, like they will include so many sidelines into our team if they feel like they don't have support or they feel like they can find value from their events. So Sharon and Doug are pretty incredible for that, because I know not everyone does that, but they just open it up to help people learn and to help people feel connected, which is, I feel, important with this business, is to feel connected. So as we close out, thanks to Sandy for sharing this, I'm going to share events that are going to be happening this week that Sharon posted in Team Transformers. So I'm going to share my screen real quick and go to Team Transformers. Wait, why is it telling me 1 participant can share at a time?
Might be Sharon's.
Oh, no, sorry. That's just me. That's me acting like I don't have an IT degree. Sorry. Okay, all these people are responding to me about the...
Look at all that activity. Woo, woo.
I left like a million messages for people wanting to do the smoothie challenge and telling them, hey, you need the shake because that's what we're using. Okay, so I'm going to go to Team Transformers and we'll see what's going on this week that you can invite to, join in on. Sharon's so good about updating this every week. Okay, so today starts our shred, which Karen I know is heading that up and has people sharing on there. So December 7th through the 16th is our shred on group. Tonight we have the Wendy Campbell call with Cindy Farnham, a new NMD. Then we also have the Keep Punching call with an Alaskan couple. I heard they're from North Pole, Alaska. I was like, what? I didn't even know that existed. That's cool. That's Carrie Daigle's team. And that happens, I think, around 9 o'clock because they're probably on the West Coast. But
North Pole is a suburb of Fairbanks.
What was that?
North Pole is a suburb of Fairbanks, Alaska.
Oh, wow.
My husband graduated from school there and I went to the North Pole.
That is so cool. I want to go to Alaska.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I think that's where Santa lives too, right?
Yeah, year round. You can go year round.
Then tomorrow we have the Join the Club business event happening. We have SIPs, Stories and Solutions. Oh, so that's the sideline team doing that, Sharon. I was wondering who was doing that. So that's an event to invite to if you guys want to, share information with anyone. We have the JPVF calls tomorrow. There's a lot going on tomorrow. December 9th, Lunch and Burn with Lonnie and Jen. That sounds like it's going to be really good. I believe that's also at 12 something?
I think that's at 1.
Oh, it's at 1, right after the Lunch and Learn. Awesome. And then we have Olympian Shannon Miller on JPTV Thursday night, which I love Shannon Miller. She's really good. Okay, so here's all the flyers. If you're interested, you should be interested in inviting to at least something this week. I mean, events are what move your business, honestly. Events are what move your business. Events are what helped me move my business. Sharon gave me the big picture for events. When I started, I'm trying to stop my share, sorry. When I started, I think I had an event within like the first 2 weeks, right, Sharon? Before I even signed up, she was like, you should consider doing an event. And I was like, well, let me plan that before I even sign up. And that just like fast tracked me having that event, filling up my house with people. But events are what move your business. And I see Gwen shared something, but I can't see it.
I'll share it in the Facebook comments. It's actually a tower garden and tower to table with Christmas wrap all over it. And I found another one with an angel on top.
Awesome.
Awesome. Awesome. Oh, so it's after 1 o'clock, guys. Thank you so much for having me as your host today. Thanks, Sharon and Doug. Thank you, Sandy, for keeping me in check. And thanks for all the great questions and commentary. I appreciate it.
Michelle, you've done great.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. You're so encouraging.
Excellent.
Thank you, Michelle.
Thank
Great
you,
job.
Michelle.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thank you, Michelle.
Great
Good
job.
night.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're
Is that-
welcome.
And hey, on the